Um, I'm going to speak a little on reincarnations. Somebody asked me to, but basically, most people in the world today are probably here for the second or third time from their past lifetime reincarnations. Um, Basically, most women, as the Torah teaches, don't need to be reincarnated. They're for men. Um, Basically, um, the point to reincarnation is to fix sins of your past lifetime, and to obviously fulfill a mission of your past lifetime. Um, Basically, that's the point of reincarnation. And by the way, wicked people can reincarnate. I mean, how many times it could take to fix their sins? It could be inside of an apple, inside of a dog. Um, you know, I mean, it's not like eating wicked people, but you know, that could be a punishment until somebody does something good, like a mitzvah, for example, after eating the apple. Um, you know, I mean, it's very painful to be reincarnated, you know, from a human's perspective inside of an apple or a dog or whatever. uh, that's basically it. So, I mean, the point of life is to reach your full potential and live free the right way. I mean, it's kind of like a world title that you're going after, you're vying for. And when you reach your potential, you've got your world title around your waist, and you're free to go. And once you do that, then you're capable of reaching other people's potential, like, by the way, many righteous people have done for other people. Kind of like Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David would do for other people. Um, Speaking of reincarnations, there's something that people need to know as far as, you know, there are a lot of schmuck Lubavitchers that say the Lubavitcher Rebbe is Mashiach ben David. I just want to say he's no reincarnation of King David. You know what I'm saying? There are ways to check this stuff. I'm not gonna say, um, but he's no reincarnation of Mashiach ben David. I just want to say, case closed. The Torah says that Mashiach ben David cannot die physically. As far as Sanhedrin 98b speaks of, Gemara, um, basically saying, okay, if Mashiach is from the dead, then he's like, you know, whoever. I'm not going to say his name. Or if Mashiach is alive, then he's like Rav Yehuda Hanasi. Well, I mean, the Talmud records 10 people who never died. They went to heaven on their body, you know. I mean, why even if Lubavitcher Rebbe was so-called Mashiach, why didn't he just go to heaven on his body, right? I mean, a time of concealment. Why not in heaven on his body, right? I mean, you know, who says death is you know, part of concealment? And plus, the whole thing about Mashiach ben David being, you know, revealed, concealed, and revealed. Who says that's even the meaning of death or going to heaven temporarily or whatever, you know? Who says what? And and by the way, the Lubavitcher Rebbe always said, let's welcome Mashiach with acts of goodness and kindness. All right. Many of you say that he claimed to be Mashiach. That, you know, the Lubavitchers on the street with the tefillin and stuff. I'm like, he never said that actually. You know. And if the Talmud is really the oral Torah written down, it's supposed to be there for referencing. Really, the oral Torah is the oral Torah. You know, Torah Sheba'al Peh, oral Torah. So, why, if it's the oral Torah, it says opinions? The oral Torah never had opinions, by the way. So why would it say if Mashiach is like this, then, you know, if Mashiach is from the dead, then he'll be like whoever, that's Sanhedrin 98b. Or if he's from being alive, he'll be like Rav Yehuda Hanasi. Okay. I'll say Rav Yehuda Hanasi was a great man. And but I personally, from many perspectives, don't think he reached his full potential. But I think he was also it was so full of life on the inside, is that the man was not able to die. So God took him to heaven on his body. Okay, case closed. And as far as reincarnations go, you know, I'm not laughing at the man, but I'll say the Lubavitcher Rebbe is no reincarnation of King David. I mean, given the point of looking at the Lubavitcher Rebbe, all due respect, by the way, I'm not trying to insult him here, but looking at him, at his pictures especially, since, you know, his youth to whatever age, I could take a look at him and say, this is no reincarnation of little David at 12 years old, taking a slingshot and getting Goliath right on the button, and then slaying Goliath by cutting his head off. I could look at this guy and, I mean, no offense, apologies for saying this guy, I could look at the Lubavitcher Rebbe and say, this is no reincarnation of a man who could do this, you know? I mean, a reincarnation of King David is unbeatable, is what I'll say, you know? If there's anyone you want to be like, I'll say, if there's anyone I want to be like personally, I want to be like Mashiach ben David, not like Mashiach ben Yosef. You know, as the Zohar says, Mashiach ben Yosef, he is lifeless. And many Lubavitchers, by the way, say, you know, about the Mashiach being dead and stuff. Well, the Zohar says the possibility of, you know, whatever, of Mashiach ben Yosef dying from a stab into the stomach from Armilis, and Armilis the pussy, might I add, because of the lifeless part. Long story what that means, I'm not going to get into it. And I'll say, knowing the inside of people here and there, I'll say Mashiach ben Yosef, at any given age, one way or the other, was better than Lubavitcher Rebbe himself. And we're living in the day and age today. I mean, this generation, what I want to say, is the reincarnation of the generation of the Exodus. And the generation of King David, which is a great wild card. I mean, you have the generation of Yosef HaTzadik, Yosef from the 12 tribes, and the reincarnation of King David, which is a great combo, if you think about it, you know? And a reincarnation, I mean, Mashiach ben Yosef, of course, is Moshe Feiglin, you know? I'm not going to get into our disputes. Your mistake, Mashiach ben Yosef, is the lifeless part. You're not able to tell who's your friend, you know? Like, refusing the joining of good people to help solve Israel's problems and stuff. Okay, you made your decision. Good, good. Unlike you, Mashiach ben Yosef, you're not yet like Mashiach ben David, Moshe Feiglin, with all due respect. And another reincarnation, for example, is, let's say, Yeshua ben Nun, Joshua, who led the Jews into Israel. They cleaned house. Merit of the leader Joshua, Yeshua. The reincarnation of Yeshua's today is a man by the name of Yishai Fleisher, who's also has been swayed by, you know, and fooled in certain respects by what's called the Erev Zeir, who, you know, are posers of men of righteousness. And both of you have actually insulted me one way or the other. I'm not going to get into that too. But, you know, I put you in your places, and Yishai Fleisher, man, I just want to say, man, get ready for our little wrestling match that'll take place. Sure, it'll be fun, but I'm going to whoop your ass, man. I'm going to show you what man is about, buddy. You know? You're going to learn respect the right way, bud. Sure, we spoke like brothers here and there. I mean, we used to be friends, but forget that, man. You know? I mean, you take a look at Yishai Fleisher's pictures from whenever. You could tell, you look into his eyes, you'll be able to say, that's the reincarnation of Yeshua ben Nun. Ahmadinejad, reincarnation of Haman. Who else? I mean, you know, there are ways of finding out this stuff. But I just want to say, as far as Mashiach ben David goes, Lubavitcher Rebbe is no reincarnation of Mashiach ben David. Mashiach ben David would win battles physically, spiritually, every which way. That's what I know. That's a king. That's Melech Moshiach. Lubavitcher Rebbe, I don't think he'd win a physical battle against me, for example, at any given age. Honestly, no disrespect. So, take it for what it is. Case closed. Later, dude.